This here is my 1980s Gazelle 5-speed winter beater bicycle that I kinda bought for the 5-speed Sturmy Archer Hop last summer. And a while back I fixed the lights on it. It wasn't really very complicated. These leads here got disconnected from this connector. Like this. And that way it just doesn't work. I took the bicycle out in the dark for a few test rides, and well, the lights worked, but the dynamo was kinda rattly and not very good. There wasn't a whole lot of lights. As you can hear in this test ride, the dynamo is rattling and also whining a lot. Although it sounds better when I turn the wheel in reverse. But with normal forward cycling, it rattles. And I don't like it, so it's time to try a different dynamo. So the plan is to replace this dynamo with this one that I made out of a couple of broken Basta dynamos a while back. But I never tested this one, so let's bring this to the workbench and see if I can bench test this. So before I move to the workbench, I should pick out a test light. Preferably one with 2 leads, because that's easier to set up. I think this Gazelle halogen light should work. I did just buy a new battery for my multimeter, so why not use it? Hey, look at that. It's good. I'm going to take off this dynamo because I need to swap out the drive wheel, because the dynamo that I fixed up doesn't have any. And of course the bolt is turning and this plastic piece is in the way. Well, it should come out. It just takes a bit longer than I expected. There it is. Alright, now we can finally move to the workbench. I guess that's the earth connection. Here's a shot of both dynamos side by side, and they are definitely the same, but they have a different branding. I guess a big company like Gazelle can get anything they want printed on the product they buy. And apparently I just broke off this piece of plastic, but that's no big deal. It's not really necessary. And if this plastic dynamo isn't working out, I can always replace it with something more period correct, because this dynamo is a little bit too new for a 1980s Gazelle bicycle. And I have some other dynamos I could install. Now the first thing that I want to do is see if I can get this drive wheel removed, because if I cannot do that, this whole plan is basically screwed, because I don't have another drive wheel. Well, I do have other bicycles, but I'm not sure if those drive wheels will fit, and these can be pretty stuck. Yeah, this is going to be tough. I could pinch the drive wheel in the vise, but then it will probably turn out oval shaped, and that's not a good idea. Some part fell, but oh, it's the connector. But that's not needed on the other dynamo because it has a different connector. Maybe I can hook it somewhere behind and then pull up on the dynamo. Yeah, this is going to be difficult. Maybe with a couple of screwdrivers. Yeah, the plastic is already warping. So this is also not a good idea. Well, it probably will take a while before I figure this out, so I'm not going to record all that. Check this out. The trick with the two screwdrivers did work. And there's the drive wheel. And it still looks round. It might need a drop of CE glue when I reinstall this on the other dynamo. So I came up with this fancy setup involving a cordless drill. Here's the test light, and it's connected to the dynamo. One lead is connected to the connector here, and the other one is just pinched to this bracket with the vise. And as you can see, it actually works. Let's try the other direction. But there's not a whole lot of light. And yep, that's the fastest setting for the cordless drill. It's not very impressive. Now let's try a normal drill. It should spin somewhat faster. Well, there's more light, but the drill head on this drill is fucked up. It's also rather heavy to hang a drill from the axle from a dynamo, but this one is toast anyway, so no harm done. And there goes my test light. Damn gravity. Alright, same setup again, but this time with the other dynamo. Here we go. Look at that. It already burns a lot brighter. Let's spin it in the other direction. Same result. I call that a win. And I didn't even have to go outside into the dark because it is raining like most of the Dutch winters. Well, I'm not going to spin this dynamo with the other drill. This is more than proof enough for me. Let's install this dynamo on the winter beater bicycle. I'm putting some CE glue on the drive wheel. Some almost dried out CE glue, because it is not as liquid as it should be. But I'm hoping it will still do the trick. That's probably good enough. Installed. Let's move into the barn again and install this thing. So this here, that's the earth connection. It's a bit bent up. Not sure what happened there. Man, working with gloves on sucks. But yeah, it's only 6 degrees in here. And I don't have a heater here. It's impossible to heat the barn because, well, the heat will just fly away through the roof. But at least it is not freezing anymore. Well, at first it wasn't even spinning, but now it is. But before I have any light, I need to hook up these connectors, these leads. It's impossible to do with gloves because these copper wires, they get sticky with my gloves. It worked. No idea how well. All right. Let's have a look. It already looks promising from where I'm sitting. Looks like the drive wheel is a bit too close to the fender. I need to readjust the dynamo a bit. The tire is also a bit bumpy, or maybe there's a wobble in the rim. It's kind of hard to see from here. But the light is definitely better. So after adjusting the dynamo a bit, it now no longer rubs against the fender. And this is how it sounds when I turn the wheel in the reverse direction. And now when cycling forward, it sounds better. There are less rattling noises, although it's not perfect. But yeah, there is a lot more light, so that's a win. The dynamo is moving quite severely from left to right, and that's probably all coming from the tire. But that's no big deal because I need to replace the front tire anyway, because on the other side, the side that is not driving the dynamo, the tire is damaged. Kinda strange. How do you damage a tire like this? It's not like you're going to park a bicycle too close to the curb. I think I can actually see the inner tube. So at some point this will have to be replaced. Yep, a lot better. I think it's time to take this bicycle out for a test ride. It is still nice and dark, and it has stopped raining. So the local dirt road does not really offer the best testing service. But I'm going to find a stretch of tarmac. Well, at least we got full moon. Well, the light is better, the dynamo sounds better, but I guess it is just too dark for the camera to pick up anything. It is, well, it's not even 11 o'clock, so the street lights are still on, but, well, this totally sucks. No point in recording this. But anyway, like, subscribe, yada yada yada, and to be continued. I just noticed that this bicycle has a Sturmey Archer front drum brake instead of a Gazelle front drum brake that sits on the other side of the wheel. And I don't know if you can see this, but the date stamp on this hub is 11/87, and the brake reaction arm is also a long model, not a short one like Gazelle normally uses. But maybe in 87 they were still using regular Sturmey Archer drum brakes instead of Gazelle drum brakes.